Hello and welcome to Loki. This is a ranked game between SteeldoForce and JeanLu. I'm guessing these two players are around top 200 somewhere in the ladder. So we'll see how this goes. Cybran for JeanLu going first line for pigeons. Pretty heavy on the pigeons. We'll see how that works out. And SteeldoForce Aeon going first land, 3 pigeons. Looks like that first engineer coming out. Let's see how that happens. Of course, Loki, pretty crazy map. You got multiple paths into your different bases, and it's really difficult to define where your base is. Very spread out mask extractors. If you were to draw a diagonal like this, so you basically have the 2 corners, which do have 4 mask extractors. Pretty valuable positions. But then, of course, so many. Basically, if you count 2 mask extractors, 3 mask extractors, starting position, 2 mask extractors, another 3 mask extractors. That's 5 different spots that you can be controlling besides the corners. So a total of 12 different spots that are important. And besides that, of course, water, small choke point, high land here. It's kind of an overpass. It goes in either direction. It's very hard to be defensive in this one. So, as we've seen from Noob Fried Rice, really the master of this map, did get beat by Eisen anyway, but that's alright. Looks like second air from SteeldoForce, so kind of low on power for going second air. Only 4 pigeons. Usually if you go second land, you can go with 5 pigeons. If you want second air, you want to go with the 6 pigeons. You can see the 6 pigeons is getting built, although he didn't make any bombers, he just went for a scout, quite cheap. So his power won't have any problems. Although he's not producing anything from the factories, that's a problem. Should be making engineers the whole time, and of course you see power is going into the negative, more power being produced. The ACU for Steeldo going to the top. It's a good move, good land scouts here, but he should move a couple here. This is a good bomber to see that nothing is coming into his engineer, but there is something coming. It will be defended. It's a mantis, runs into a whole bunch of auroras. And up on top, a group of manti moving out for JeanLu. And here on the bottom, that's a nice bomber there, preventing expansion from JeanLu. JeanLu, meanwhile, using his ACU as 2 engineers, just sitting back. A total of 5 land factories and an air factory at his main base. Otherwise, he's good expansion, except to the bottom, and looks like an engineer here for SteeldoForce is going to go to the bottom. Otherwise, air has been much better for Steeldo. Couple interceptors for JeanLu, but he hasn't really been using them. Perhaps this one will get some of those first kills. Good anti-air at the main base. And 3 Manta plus 2 scouts. Oh, that was an excellent bomb. Bombers from SteeldoForce, excellent in this one. And if this engineer is successful establishing a base here, plus a pretty large Aurora force, looks like it was just now moving in a different direction. Be nice to block off this area and maybe even attack. It looks like that was cancelled by Steeldo, moving all of his units to the top. The ACU for Steeldo establishing a base. 2 land factories, grabs that rock. And map control firmly in Steeldo's hands. Absolutely no attacking unit to the bottom except this force, which is sort of stuck here. A whole bunch of arty. Nobody really wants to go except an engineer. 2 engineers, they might meet here eventually. And looks like an assault now from all the auroras. This will be a loss of 3 mask extractors for JeanLu. The ACU for JeanLu or for Steeldo, also pretty aggressive. And now JeanLu is going to move a whole bunch of his manta that he built at his base to try to get back this position. He's going to be climbing up a hill. So if Steeldo can get a good position here, kill all these units one by one. Looks like he wasn't able to do so. He should really retreat. This is superior force from JeanLu. Just retreat to regroup with his ACU. At the same time, JeanLu moving out. He's going to cut off these engineers, and these are completely unprotected. The engineers might go at it, Auroras versus Arty. And an interceptor fight. Of course, Aeon have such a big advantage here. on these choke points in the back of JeanLu's base. JeanLu has completely lost map control, and of course your artillery versus Auroras dominate. And of course Cybran scouts do not have guns. All they can see is there are 4 mask extractors there. However, SteeldoForce could get himself in trouble. This is superior force against the ACU. But with proper micro, if he dodges their artillery, he should be fine. He does have some support. I know this is a good looking force here from SteeldoForce moving in. This engineer should be killed here shortly. SteeldoForce 19 kills, still alive. And at this point a nice air snipe with some gestures would be excellent from JeanLu, with this ACU going so low on health. But we did not see that happen. Looks like JeanLu now moved a pretty large force here to the Hydra. Meanwhile the Aurora is moving in. Similar numbers, no kiting. If this was Pilot or some good Aeon player, and this is a good place to retreat to if you're Aeon, right into the water where you can be followed, but that's not what we're seeing in this ACU. For JeanLu is going to get a couple nice kills. So a bit of a waste there from SteeldoForce, retreat from JeanLu back to base. But meanwhile, this should have a huge eco advantage for SteeldoForce with all those extra mask extractors. Plus 55. He has 1,000 in the bank. Pretty good power balance. Maybe a little more power would be nice. And tech to air now, tech to engineer. Not too many P-gens here, only plus 650, but it's enough for what he's doing. Good stuff from JeanLu. Aggressive ACU taking over map. Micro could use a little bit of these 2 battles with Auroras. Didn't really use the Auroras to their full potential. But in any case, he is producing so many more units. Now looking at JeanLu, he's got a Tech 2 ACU making Tech 2 point defenses. He's going to try to protect his base. Be nice to see an attack here through the water once again against JeanLu. Couple Tech 2 mask extractors, Tech 2 power, but not in a good position. SteeldoForce now has a base here. He's going to grab these mass spots. So it's really now a question for SteeldoForce. How does he choose to break this turtle? Here, a minute 15. He does have a Tech 2 air and some gunships. Of course, gunships easily countered by some flak. Cruise missiles might be a good idea at first to take out a couple of these mask extractors. Tech to air, some bombers. And one thing that SteeldoForce in this position really should be careful with AC. Probably stick it somewhere in the water. No reason. These are basically already won the game. It's really his to lose, and the best way to lose it is to run somewhere in the middle of the field with the ACU where it's unprotected. Looks like he is going to get an upgrade. Tech 2 ACU. Definitely much more survivable than Tech 1. And gunships for SteeldoForce probably going to kill all these scouts here. A big group of units here from JeanLu moving out, and of course this is what the Auroras should do. Retreat into the water where they can't be followed. Good move from JeanLu. You want to keep on chasing them. You never want to chase them halfway. JeanLu with a point defense creep out of his base. And these point defenses here for JeanLu. Good position. And good aggressive Cybran play there. Yeah, these Auroras not given the correct move order. They can't really stand their ground. And Manta just running back and forth, demolishing things. Once again, a loss here at the back door. The Aeon advantage at Tech 1. Floating units, Tech to air over JeanLu's base. Too many sig figs makes this very difficult to read. JeanLu trying to get more Tech to point defenses established. If he can get control here, there's a lot of wrecks where he can supplement his eco. But here come the gunships. That's a lot of gunships from SteeldoForce. JeanLu has got to run for cover. He's got to get some Tech 2 flak. He does not have Tech 2 land. That's unfortunate for him. And here at the back door, good Aurora is killing off Tech 2 mask extractors. The precious mass. What happened to the gunships? No, they're just sitting back here. Surprisingly, I think they could have gone for JeanLu, who does not have any Tech 2 flak. At least just gone after his eco. Kill the tech to power, kill the other tech to mask extractors, and this game is over. The gunship circling once again. So a bit one-sided here. Map control really giving a huge advantage for SteeldoForce. JeanLu now rebuilding. Point defense is at the back door. And SteeldoForce still sitting here. It looks like yet another upgrade. One thing that JeanLu could do is make a couple cruise missile launchers and try to catch SteeldoForce not paying attention. Is this Tech 3? Tech 3 air now for SteeldoForce, plenty of power. Of course, that would require quite a bit of eco. JeanLu has absolutely no mass. But 3 of these launchers, actually would need 4 now because of all the upgrades on SteeldoForce's ACU. Surprisingly, there's all this mass that should be picked up by JeanLu. A couple engineers in here grabbing all the free mass. And I really gotta say that, well, now here comes Tech 3 land. This Tech 3 air, perhaps, well, no, Strat bombers. Okay, Strat bombers are a good idea. Definitely a good idea for SteeldoForce. Now Tech 2 flak for JeanLu. The gunships for SteeldoForce. Forces the man-tie back, but of course Tech 2 point defense, good place to retreat to. And these are some of the units that actually Tech 2 flak here. This is why the gunships are respecting this position. But here come the Strat bombers. A little too quick for the flak to really hurt them unless they slow down. And there goes the flak. Tech 2 point defenses for JeanLu, still doing a good job. But here comes the gunships. And this is something that should have happened a little while ago. A good ranked game. 26 minutes from SteeldoForce and JeanLu.